lecture hall, cyber cafe, corridors. Students not only carry books, but also their dreams, their visions, their careers, their struggles, and everything. What's up, our great listeners, our great viewers, and our great audience? We've been quiet for some time, but we are actually back active and ready to learn from you, and ready to also emulate from what you're going to be asking us to do. So we are from our holiday, and before we go further, or before we go to our topic of discussion, let us actually know what we guys have learned from our holidays, because you know life is a learning process, and without learning, that definitely there is nowhere you're heading to. So tuacha tuanze na Doki as we
yes, thank you for joining us. So what I learned over the holidays, that life gives you two opportunities. It's either you work for your money, or either you decide to become a borrower. So it is upon you. It is either you become a borrower or just work for your own money.
Okay, during the holiday I learned that in this life you should be with someone. It's like, let's say for example, in a task where I'm not able to do this task, I should ask for help, because unity is strength.
Okay. Yes.
Over the holidays I learned that we are not a product of other people's doings. We are a product of listening either to them or concentrating too much about what they said instead of searching for your answer within you. So do not get stuck in the rut of victimhood. You get out of it. Yes, it happened, but you can decide how your life is going to be the way you said. It's you. Yes, it's either you get bitter or you get better.
Yes. Okay, personally I learned a lot of things, but I learned something funny and weird. Actually, I used to assume that kleptomania is just an insult, but it's actually a condition. And most of us do assume, so what is kleptomania. So see what you assume, but it's actually a condition, and it's coming into our evolving and emerging world. So we also should keep it in mind that this is a condition. It's not something that we should normalize. Yes. So and let me spread awareness about such conditions. Then we as human beings assume that is actually something that a person is doing intentionally, or so that's actually a term or a new condition that I learned. So back to the real topic of discussion. I forgot to introduce my name. My name is Pretty. Yes.
And I am Doki.
I am Judy.
And she is our guest. Let her introduce herself.
My name is Ivy Waithera.
Okay, so back to our great topic. Our topic of discussion today is actually reflecting on the life of a campus student. Our struggles, our visions, our dreams, and everything that revolves around a campus student. So in the course of your studies, in the course of anything, in the course of what you are going through, there is anything or like you must have struggles, you must have anything that you actually facing. Hakuna mtu mwenye actually has that smooth life in his or her campus experience. Yes.
So I feel like as a Kenyan student, I've experienced the first part, the struggle, and the resilience to pursue education. Is a system where it is full of promises, but yet it has a lot of challenges.
Yes, a campus student. Transitioning from high school to campus is something everybody envisions as they're doing their Form 4 or their KCSE. And one of the struggles that most students face is an identity crisis, because there's this version of you that you want to hide so that people do not judge you or criticize you for who you really are. So you give this, you give us this facade of who you're really not, so that people may accept you.
Okay, another struggle for a Kenyan, or let's say a campus student, is to fit in. Like someone is struggling to fit in this status, like let's say I'm poor and she's rich. I will nitajaribu like nimfikie. Yeah, and yet I'm down.
Okay, so in every lecture hall, cyber cafe, corridors, students not only carry books, but also their dreams, their visions, their careers, their struggles, and everything. And in the scope of you achieving your career advances, there are barriers that we all must face and must go through.
Yeah, so I feel like the way like she has addressed it is all about the transitioning from maybe high school to campus life, and to those who went to boarding school, like now transitioning from primary school to boarding school. But I feel like every time you transitioning is a beginning of life. I thought when I came out of primary school, I thought that I've begun life. Then I came out to go like I joined college, and then I was like I was back to zero. Then I'm beginning life again. So I feel it's a tough transition in every time, because every time you're starting from zero. When you think like life is you're going to continue with life is taking you back all the way to zero to start again. So it is all about starting and that's whatsoever.
Okay, so personally, when you are talking about the reflection of a campus student, first of all, we must start with reflecting about us. We personally went through a lot of struggles in the scope of our media studies. Wrangles, battles, poor equipments, lack of the personnel to actually support us in our media studies. So acha kwanza, before we give our guest a chance, let maybe Judy explain some of the struggles or any encounter that we had which actually belittled us, ikatufanya tukasema no, we are not going to conclude or to continue with our show here and then.
Okay, one of the struggle was venue. We didn't have a venue. We were just relocating each and every sector of the school, and even the camera. We were using this phone. That was a great challenge, and even people here, they were just battling with us, saying that we should not do a podcast and that sort of things.
Back to Dorcas. I know you have a really burning issue about the experiences you went through.
Like moving in the corridors of in school life, I feel like you having that relationship with your parents. So you coming into a college where like the parent think like all you need, or like my child needs is all about financial things. So I feel like there's a time I felt like, what, I cried and I was like, I feel like I'm lacking something, because every time you're calling your parents, they're like, oh, pesa zimeisha, and that's it. That is the norm of the day. So every time like she sees your call, she definitely thinks that maybe you are out of funds. But I wanted a person to ask me, how are you doing, how is life? Because sometimes life gets tough. I don't know why, but you feel lonely in a world where you have nobody. So I feel like sometimes our parents need to do better, because I know they can be busy, but at times what your child needs, it is not only financial things or money. They need you to ask them, how are you? Are you good? Are you okay? Are you really, really okay?
Okay. Back to Ivy.
Yes, I'm going to say poor management of the people that you have entrusted in gaining your skill from. So if you're gaining your skill from people who are not serious about offering good educational experiences, you're going to end up losing. And when it comes to the job market, you're not going to navigate so well. So it kind of hinders you, because you're being managed by people who are power hungry and money hungry, forgetting that you actually came to them with your money to learn a certain skill so that you can evolve to what you really wanted to do, because you're here for a while so that you can actually achieve a goal that you set.
Okay, still navigating around the same reflecting on the life of a campus student. You know, campus has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
People in campus have a lot to offer. Your lecturers have a lot to offer. Your parents back at home have a lot to offer. Doki has talked about finances. Sometimes, you know, we won't place ourselves in the same levels as others, sindio? Tunasema, yes, you calling your parent, he or she knows that you want finances, but deep down you just want that emotional support. You are going through some emotional turmoil, some emotional torture. You may be a victim of drug abuse, a victim of failed relationships, a victim of a lot of things. Zenye, you know, when I talk, I'm maybe going to get emotional. So
and there is this norm, like people, they usually say, see, we nini ndo kuja campus ulipita KCSE, their rule is like you should pass, then ukikuja huku unapata like someone anapata supplementaries, the soups, so your parents akuzileza, I brought my child akiwa wise, mbona ana fail, so the parents should understand that he see it like someone's wants, like intelligence is not all about papers.
And one thing I also feel like is also a challenge is when you're opening school, and so there's that burden of school fees, and you know, your parent, I remember my mom once said like, yo, we don't have money, completely we don't have money. So I'm like, no, where should I look at? Should I like, so the burden, you're also carrying that burden of there's no money, there's no hope in that semester, so you're going nowhere. That is one of the things that I feel like, I think my problem relates around, or like rotates around money, because sometimes your parent will be like, hello, you need to manage your funds, but how it comes out, you need to figure out, if you're telling me that I need to manage money, I can manage money in two ways. You can give me 1,000 shillings and I manage it, but I can opt to find ways of finding more money to like satisfy my needs at the end of the day. You know that, because at times, you know, parents will be in school and all they think you want is maybe food, and that's it. But you have the daily expenses that you need to have, like you need credit, like the daily expense that you need to have. So sometimes you just forgo your lunch, and then you're like, you forgo your lunch, and so that you can finance what you needed, maybe credit 20 bob, and those small expenses cost a lot, a whole lot, because I once told my dad that, you know, sometimes you have to forgo lunch and like uhate your lunch, and then afterwards, and then I had gone in that semester, like nilikuwa nimegonjeka, and so I went to the hospital, and then he's like, you know, that is the problem. So the money you used to forgo the lunch is the money now you're using to go to the hospital. It's like, really, Dad? That is what you're saying? I didn't expect that one. Yeah, I feel like financially, there's that weight on, because you're trying to navigate. I remember this is a young student, and you just naive, you don't know life, you're coming from high school where you are just food is given to you, all you had is some money for your extra expense, maybe for mandazis, for cafeteria. So you're coming out here and you need clothes, you need whatever. Your parents is like, you need a clothes and I need to pay your school fees. So which need do I need to satisfy first? Yeah, I feel that one is so. Yeah, what do you think, Ivy?
Yes, to add to your point, there's this also pressure. Once the parent has pressure, he or she will want to exert that pressure somewhere else. So it will bubble out on you, because you are the source of that frustration. Let me use Kiswahili here. Yani unampeleka mbio sana, anashanga, what's up? You understand? So I think even parents should also learn how to navigate their own emotions.
Thank you.
So if you cannot work on yourself, I will also carry that burden of the consequences of not working on yourself. So you as a parent needs to know that your emotions need to be in check. If there is none, there is none. You just need to say it in a very calm collected way. We are both adults. If you shout at me, I'll feel like a burden. Remember, I have emotions, I have feelings. You're not explaining yourself, you're not properly articulating what you're actually wanting to say, what is in your mind. You understand? So I think parents also need, I don't want to say this term because it will be so rude, but parents need to navigate those emotions. They need to know if this line, even if I'm a parent, even if I took care of you, that does not give you the license to talk to me however you want, because at the end of the day, I've got feelings, they get hurt, and the more they get hurt, I can't trust a word that you say, and the more I don't trust you, the more the relationship is cut, and the more I'm disconnected from you as you remember your parents are your first relationship. So even as a campus student, imagine that is where the whoring phase starts. But I guess some start at high school, but most of them start in campus because there's something that is missing. And what I came to learn, if there's something missing in your life, you'll either turn to drugs, food, sex, and it's casual sex. You're just wanting to be loved because you never felt that closeness. Yes, you cannot express yourself. You're just there to be seen. You're like a trophy that needs dusting every now and then. Yes. So it's I'm paying your school fees. You pass, I can look like a good parent. It's not that I want actually to be a good parent, because it actually takes discipline to be a good parent. Because we're all adults here. Let me talk. Let me be free. You did the deed. I came out as a result of that deed. You knew what you were doing. So I think also they should know that the weight, it's not an easy job. You understand? It's actually the hardest job because it requires all the virtues that you need, and it's not easy to actually decide I'm going to live this certain way of life, because if you decide to live it, you're going to get away from your comfort zone. So I think parents they have a challenge. Because I think also they were raised even tougher than they are raising us, and they are seeing it as better. It's not about reducing, it's about seeing it didn't work for you because you're even not emotionally attached to yourself. You don't know your own emotions. You're just there. You understand? So I think parents need to know also how to learn how to speak and express the emotions in a very cool, calm and collected, because I'm also an adult. And hata when nikikuongelesha a certain type of way, you will feel bad. But when it comes to me, it's like I'm a doll who doesn't have feelings. So I think they like to treat us as accessories.
I feel like we can move now to relationship wise, because every now and then your parents will be like, abstain, I'ma do what. But the real thing is you have to be in a relationship with your opposite gender. And no, like, because having that, I don't know, I've never had that conversation of me and my parent, them talking to me and telling me, you should be this. I don't know, they're just assuming, I don't know if they're just assuming I'm not in a relationship, they're just assuming, like she's in a relationship, she'll just handle herself. I don't know which assumption they go with, because like having that conversation of, are you dating? And how is you and the person you're dating currently? Because there's like students are suffering out here, because the real thing is that people are dating out here and you cannot stay without a relationship. Because at the end of the day, what the parent isn't giving you, because your parent won't be checking up on you every day. But because there's that gap, here comes a man who is filling that gap. So I don't know, they're just expecting, no, I don't want you to be pregnant at the end of the day out of wedlock. I don't know, I pranked my parent and then she was like, you're pregnant, how did that person who is responsible for the pregnancy say? I was like, likata mimba. And then my mom is like, okay, maybe I thought you're telling me that you were dating or something of the sort, and I'm like, no, I was not telling you that. I'm telling you that I'm pregnant. So I don't know, they are working, which assumption parents are working with. If like you're working with that assumption of I'm not dating, or I'm dating and I will just maneuver. Yeah, because they're getting lost in those gaps.
But you know, sometimes we as let's say children or mom.
Yeah. Children to your parents. We
lay all the burdens to our parents.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can be assuming that my parent assumes that I am in a relationship. Have you tried, like, mom, you know, I'm dating. Have you tried you personally? Are you still waiting for her to come to you and ask you, my daughter?
Yeah.
Like, are you really? Just some parents may become insecure and be like, my daughter is not straight, my daughter is not this and this. You personally, have you made that step?
I don't know.
Of trying to talk to your mom about your intimate relationship, or have you made that step?
I've not. Personally, I'd be very comfortable telling my dad. My mom, I mean. But my dad, that I don't know what reaction could be, but I feel that one.
So, you know, sometimes maybe parents assume that if I'm going to ask my daughter or son her intimate status, she's definitely going to lie to me. Why then should I ask her? Like, are you going to be comfortable? Your mom is like, do you have a man? Yes, mom, I have a man.
That's why parents should have this relationship with their kids.
And you as a kid should also have that relationship with your parent.
But the creating the environment for you to be comfortable.
You see, as like, if you're my mother, if you're my mother and you create this
comfortable,
that I can speak to you and tell you anything comfortably, I'll be comfortable to tell you. But if you're my parent, you're just like, soma achana na wavulana tukupea mimba ukipata mimba nini. As a parent you should be like my mother. She's nice. She always tell me, yes, men are good, they'll give you free babies, but what will you do? Use your brain. Be with beauty with brains.
So I feel like they also have not created that environment, because personally I can't share that with my dad. Because my dad, all he wants to hear is like, hello, I did exams, I passed all of them, and then good girl. And that particular time I can be a good girl. That is all he wants to hear. He wants, I don't know, he just wants to see you successful, and that's it.
But what if I say that those are just assumptions in your, like, have you tried? Maybe my big question here is, have you tried? You know, personally, I'm saying that because my mom is actually a free woman. Like, you can share anything with her, but my mom does not know who I am. I won't lie. But she's a free woman, like, you know. So you have not created the problem is me, it's not her. We have that relationship, but if you get to that other level, I cannot do that because I'm not comfortable with that. I have assumed that she's that woman in that. Have you achieved it? Have you done this? Have you done this? But me personally, I haven't made that initiative of talking to her. Mom, you know, there's this man, you know. So sometimes the problem is not the parent. You making assumptions in your brain that my parent will be like, are you dating? Do you know how men are? Do you know I failed because of a man? Do you know? So,
but I feel like, okay, sometimes it's life nature taking its road, because this nature telling you that you're an adult, like right now, and you just have to figure out life with yourself. Kama ni heartbreak umepitia, you have to figure out. I think that is nature taking the pen and writing your future, writing your life at that particular time. Because where adulthood is gives you this chance of you navigating life on your own. Like my parent is in there and you are now in that world alone.
Okay, Doki, even in this situation, like you see, as an African child, the parents expect you're a baby, uende shule, ukimaliza shule, upate kazi ndo uolewe. That sequence. You see, that one. Hiyo pia ndo inaharibu pia wazazi, cause sisi kuwa nasoma and I'm dating. Unaona that perspective,
you cannot cook two pots at the same time.
So that's why hata ukienda kumwambia itakuwa like nimekosea juu kila mtu amezoea ukitoka hapa in this stage you go to this stage, juu wanasemanga weziva ni nguo ya maternity, sijui siku ya harusi, kitu kama hiyo like ufe kuruka hizo gowns juu kuna graduation gown tena inakwanga graduation
then marriage labda
that
maternity
one. Yes, that one. So people follow that sequence. So I think hapo ndo anaenda wrong.
Okay. For me, you also have to learn. You're here to learn. You learn by mistakes. You understand? So yes, you if that environment is created, tell your parents you're in a relationship, it's going this and this and this. Maybe he or she might have good input that might help you in your perspective of finding a mate out here. But also you have to learn, because in high school you were really not advised. When you're barabara of dating, you're told to finish for
high school,
you go date campus. But when you're in campus,
finish campus so that you get a work.
Concentrate on your studies first. Then you're going to get a man. But I think that is so wrong. You need to be acquainted by the male aspects, yani venye mwanaume anakuanga, unaona, his characters, his behaviors, because the only male that you've ever known mostly
is the dad and brothers labda.
So you should know their nature. You understand? And that's why patience is key and observing is the best. Just observe his behaviors and so that you can find what you're actually looking for. But to also know what you're actually looking for, you also have to be self-aware. So heartbreak utapitia. Yes.
Okay. Hey, patience is key and observation is okay. So wacha tutoke kwa parents. Let's also move to our whole campus environment. Our lecturers, our staff members. You know, personally, one day I actually, kwanza tulikuwa na doki, we actually got into a clash with one of our lecturers. And hata ndarudi kwa parent kidogo on telling my mom that this and this and this has happened. You know, my mom was like, go apologize to her. It's not even comforting me that okay, ani comfort aniambie yes, it has happened and this and this and this. She's only focused on me going to apologize to that lecturer than focusing on if I am right or if I am wrong. So hey,
okay, I don't know, but hey, the relationship was with like lectures now and students, I don't know, like those, I don't know, but like those fights between you and the lecturers. So we've already been taught that what maybe a grown-up says is always right, kind of right than what I know. You see, so I don't know, and I feel like we have grown in an environment where you cannot correct an adult, and if you correct the adult, it will be like you're wrong, you're rude. Exactly, that girl is rude. So I don't know.
But thank you very much for bringing up that point. Parents are not always right. Lecturers are not always right. Nobody's is not always right. So I do not know where people get the audacity of telling me that I should respect you based on your title. Remember these days, even the CSs and ministers were being given dockets. Like it's nothing. Even your title, it might not be come out of honor. So respect is not due until I know your character. Respect is not due yet. So until you strike me as a person who actually says what he does, what he says, and has integrity, has good virtues, that I can emulate from you, that is where respect is warranted. But if you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong. Accept it, move on. I do not care if you're 40, 50, 60, 70. Wajinga pia wanazeekanga.
Okay, even here in this case, lecturers pia do wanafeel sana because this beef, kama mwalimu kona beef na mimi, mbona ulete class? Okay, there is this one lecturer mwenye alikuwa ananichukia, so like akuzileza by my looks. I used to do nails. Akuzileza, okay, Judy unaekwa na mbaba. I'm like not have parents like
who can do that.
So like pia lecturers.
I don't know, but because like it is all set up in a group, like a grown up could just tell you something. Because I remember somewhere we were going and then like somebody said that, you know, this aspect of wamenda kudinywa ama hotel.
Exactly. Yes. I remember that day.
So
thank you.
Okay, I don't want to cause that commotion because at the end of the day, the problem will be mine as a student.
The teacher is always right.
It was not even a teacher. It was a staff member.
A staff member, but I was like, yo, why tell us that way? Why tell us so? You think that all the ladies passing in that, like through that gate, they're the same? They're not the same. They're not the same actually.
It's ignorance. And ndio maana nasema wajinga pia uzeeka. The moment you decide that there's nothing you're going to input in your brain, that is when you're starting focusing on others, putting labels and slapping names to other people because your life is unsatisfactory. So you're shadow boxing. So whatever you see in others, remember that it is in yourself. Other people are just mirrors. So maybe if somebody is calling you selfish, they're the ones who are selfish.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So remember that next time.
Okay. As we are adjourning, let me ask you one question. What's one dream that you hold to when even it becomes tougher? No matter how tough it is, no matter what's that one dream that you uphold to?
I think one dream that I uphold to, even if it is tougher. I feel like because I've not grown to be a selfish person, and so I feel like I owe my parents my success somehow. So once I feel like I'm giving up and I remember, I have my mama somewhere, my papa somewhere, I just wake up and I'm like, you need to wake up, girl, you need to keep on moving.
Yes.
Yeah, that is one of the big dreams that I need to prove that I need to prove that journalism is not just a course. It is not going to give me my, people will have that belief that that course cannot give you a daily meal. It cannot make you a good person. So it is not a good career. No, I want to prove wrong to people because I feel like my mom has been in the past 1 year, like she was told when I started doing journalism, she was like, that course takes a lot of money. It will kunyonya you a lot of money, and at the end of the day, the career is not giving. I need to prove those people wrong, man. Yeah. So I just wake up when I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
One dream that I'll never.
We will keep on upholding.
Yeah, even when it's tough. Yeah.
That as long as there's life in your system, there's nothing that you can't do. And it's also your will that pushes you forward. So I have to give myself discipline. It did not come from anywhere else. Control. Once I know that I have all these virtues, I know that there's nothing I cannot achieve in this world. So as long as I have that perfect set of values that I've instilled in myself, because nobody is going to come and save you. Nobody is going to come. There is no superhero in your life. It is just you. So if it's just me, then I have to realize that if I have to win, I have to behave in a certain way. Once those values are embedded in me, there's nothing I cannot achieve.
Okay.
Okay, career-wise, as a journalist, I would like even to prove those people wrong who are saying like, as a journalist, they are in Citizen, Sumo na Lulu na Hassan, wakikuwa hapo kutoka sijui kwa class 3. I want to prove those people wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, much has been said, and let us just adjourn. We are not just surviving campus life, but we are we are actually building the Kenya of tomorrow. So this has been Chartered Podcast _24M. Keep on subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting for us to know what you want from us and what you expect from us, where the real voices meet the real stories. Thank you so much.